In the Park Duval neighborhood are no longer under a shelter-in-place order after a chemical spill on Bell's Lane, which shut down a part of the Waterson for hours this morning. PRP Fire said responders received a call around 10 this morning of chemical spills at a Metropolitan Sewer District plant. They arrived to find a parasitic acid leak near the back of the facility. Alexis Jones and Elijah McKenzie have been following the story all day for us and have an update tonight.
The unpleasant smell throughout parts of West Louisville has finally died down. Though officials say the chemical leak is now under control, residents are left with lingering questions.
What's actually in the air at the moment?
A common concern after Saturday's chemical spill. Kevin Offit says he was heading to work when he got an alert on his phone to seek shelter. While rushing indoors, he couldn't help but notice an awful odor.
A little sewage smell, if I had to say. So I grabbed my stuff out the car and I went in, didn't go back out. Even after I received the alert, this is my first time being back outside since then.
Thankfully, Offit isn't experiencing any symptoms, but he says he's still worried for the public's safety.
How does something just go off in the air and then just evaporate that fast?
According to PRP Fire Chief Jason Myman, his team used water to minimize the chemical reaction. Though he's unsure of the potential threat, he says no one has been affected just yet.
We're doing air monitoring throughout the community, and our instruments have determined that there has not been anything that has left the site. So currently there should be no impact to the community.
MSD is still working to determine how much parasitic acid was released into the air and what caused it to leak. In the meantime, Offit says he'll continue to move with caution until officials can answer these burning questions.
You know, how are y'all for certain it is out of the air? And also just, you know, what ways do they think they could keep something from like this happening again?
In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS11 on your side.
It's been nearly 4 months since a Louisville Old National Bank employee's actions led to one of our city's darkest moments, taking 5 innocent lives and injuring 8 other people. Among those who died was Dina Eckert. She'd worked at the bank since 2016. Today, Eckert's family was Eckert was honored by a cause she spent many hours volunteering for. The Alzheimer's Association of Kentucky and Indiana renamed a meeting space at their headquarters. They say they wanted to keep her name and her spirit alive.
We are here to honor and celebrate her legacy with the sign that we've put up, and it'll be on our Google ads that it'll say, if you have a meeting in our community room, it will say you're meeting in the Dina Eckert community room. And we really want people to walk up and say, what is that sign? Who was Dina? And we want to continue to share her legacy and her enthusiasm and her passion and her great smile.
Eckert was among 5 that were killed that day. 8 others were also injured in the workplace mass shooting, including Officer Nick Wilt. Last Friday, he finally returned home after 8 months in the hospital. The city of St. Matthews has been hosting events all week to mark the occasion many consider to be a miracle. And all, the event has helped raise more than $170,000 to help Officer Wilt in his recovery.
You know, I think right now he's still in recovery mode, still trying to readjust to the world a little bit, but I think his family's going to be blown away when they see the support and the love that's come behind these last few days and through the festival today.
St. Matthews announced the totals, that $170,000, at this year's Potato Festival. That event honors the history of St. Matthews as the former potato capital of the world. Now to New Albany, where police are carrying out a death investigation tonight. Officials found someone dead in their car earlier today. We're still waiting on a lot of details right now, but New Albany Police Chief Todd Bailey said the discovery was made on State Street. Right now, police are still unsure how the person died, but do not suspect foul play was involved. We'll bring you updates when we know more. In national news, former President Donald Trump is back on the campaign trail this weekend following his arraignment on charges that he attempted to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. A new ABC News poll found nearly 2/3 of all Americans think the latest charges against Trump are serious. A majority of those surveyed, 51%, say they're very serious, and 46% believe they're politically motivated.
We always put America first. In response, our enemies unleashed an army of rabid left-wing lawyers, corrupt Marxist prosecutors. These are dishonest people, bad people, deranged government agents and rogue intelligence officers to try and stop our movement.
We learned Friday special counsel Jack Smith requested a judge impose a protective order over the discovery evidence in the case, citing a threatening message Trump posted on his social media. The Trump campaign responded by calling the post the definition of political speech. We all know here in Kentucky, the first Saturday in August means a good barbecue picnic and Commonwealth's politics. The 143rd Fancy Farm Picnic took place in Western Kentucky today. Here's a look at some of the zingers, one-liners, and campaign promises delivered.
Is known as the unofficial kickoff to Kentucky's general election season, which is why it should come as no surprise. Two 2023 candidates for governor were front and center.
We can restore law and order. We can build a future that's based on true Kentucky values instead of the Bashir-Biden radical ideology.
Republican candidate and current Attorney General Daniel Cameron went first, sticking to his campaign's usual talking points of national culture war issues.
I've been watching Frankfurt Andy up close for nearly 4 years, and I have just one question. Governor, are you auditioning for a job with Bud Light's marketing team?
A zinger referencing the national attention Bud Lights received earlier this year as it came under conservative scrutiny for a brand deal made with a transgender influencer.
They're trying to pit us against each other, calling everybody names who disagrees with them, telling you it's okay to yell at, even hate your fellow Kentuckians.
Democratic candidate and current Governor Andy Bashir also stuck to the script of his campaign, touting the state's economy and his work as governor.
And listen, I know you just heard from Daniel Cameron. It's not true. It's all lies. But if you're willing to lie about a grand jury, he's willing to lie to you. Listen.
Among the other speakers was U.S. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, marking his 28th Fancy Farm.
Andy makes his dad look like a Republican.
I want to go to JCPS right now. The new school year for Jefferson County families starts in less than a week, and for families, busing is a concern. Some parents, like Emily Flower, didn't know where their bus stop is or how their kids will get there. The JCPS bus finder lists no stops for her 7th grader. Flower says the middle school sent a letter saying there is a stop on the other side of their neighborhood. It's a little under a half-a-mile walk, but her son would have to trek down a busy road with no sidewalks. Flowers requested a new bus stop with JCPS. The district says it has received thousands of bus stop request forms in the first week since new routes were announced.
Negotiable, he will not be walking on Shelbyville Road.
We have teams right now, they worked dawn to dusk over the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, to address families who have put in this bus stop request form.
CPS spokesperson told us they have been reviewing Flowers' family's request, and they do plan to add a new bus stop closer to their home that will be a 4-mile walk with sidewalks. And as kids head back to the classroom, the use of artificial intelligence is expanding, and it could possibly be used in this school year. ChatGPT is an AI program that offers users the ability to use a machine to give them real-time responses to all sorts of prompts. The responses can be short yes or no answers, or responses can be long enough to be an entire research paper. We spoke with a JCPS teacher about the use of AI in schools and how it can be used for student learning.
I find a lot of use out of it. It helps me in my work. I urge them to use it for research, for example, but not to produce the artifact. Use it to generate ideas or evaluate their work, but not to just copy and paste.
This week, JCPS cut the ribbon on 2 new schools opening in Louisville's West End, including Dr. William H. Perry Elementary School.
1, 2, 3.
The school is housed right next to the YMCA on West Broadway. Students and staff at Wheatley Elementary School are now going to be moving to Perry Elementary School next year.
We want this to be a true community school. That word gets thrown around a lot, but we want this community to be in this school often and feel that they are a part of this school as well. And that's when kids know they're cared about, when they see the community being partners with the school.
Like we said, the new school year for Jefferson County families starts in 2 days, and for many, busing is a concern. JCPS also celebrating a new middle school in West Louisville. Hudson Middle School is named after that late U of L dean and civil rights activist, Dr. J. Blaine Hudson. It's the first new middle school West Louisville has seen in 90 years. The principal says teachers will have a hands-on and flexible curriculum, which will give students the opportunity to explore different pathways.
We want to provide space for our 6th graders, for our 7th graders when they come, for our 8th graders to not only lead in our school community, but also in the community at large.
The school is in the former home of Wheatley Elementary, but a permanent location will be announced in the next few months.